Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki. Those who come to Satsang usually are looking for some rest. Why? What happened? Because we have tied ourselves to a crazy donkey. What is this crazy donkey that we tied ourselves to? It is this changing world. The minute we call something mine in this world, it is an invitation to get tired. It is an invitation to suffer. Why? Because is there anything stable in this world? Does anything remain the same always? All appearances are constantly changing. The funny thing is that because his mind is also constantly changing, even if the outward appearance is seeming to be stable, the mind wants it to start changing. Doesn't it happen in relationships? Feel like, this is my perfect partner. Is it? Why? Because we are so different. The opposites attract. For example, and then after a while, no, but I wish she could change this about herself. I wish she would speak like this. I wish she would like the temperature in the room to be this temperature. It can be anything. You see? So that which was initially attractive also starts to become unattractive because our mind changes. Even if this world appearance was constant, our mind's opinion about it changes. So that is the nature of this world. And then, as we have attached ourselves to these concepts of mind, what is it basically? How do you look at this body in front and say, my Guru? It is a set of perceptions, isn't it, in front of you? That's why the Master is saying that I am in your heart. I am your own being. Because what is the trouble with this mind? One, that it is always changing, not constant. That's why we are tired. And fundamentally, more fundamentally, it is dependent on the concept of me, which we have never found. And without me, you cannot have mine. That's why the sages are about me and mine. If you forget about me, then mine is gone anyway. One of my favorite stories that came up in was the story of this cat. Cat. So there was once a cat who was born in this mirrorless world. So the cat couldn't really see herself or himself. But the cat was told that if you get the next bowl of milk, then you will be happy. Your only job is to get the next bowl of milk. So what has that bowl of milk been? Get a good education, be a nice cat, then get the best relationship, get the right money, get a healthy body. But the cat got tired because none of this was remaining constant. All of this was constantly changing. And the feeling of happiness also that was derived from any of these things was not constant. So then the cat was told, yes, what you need, because you're done with all of this, what you need is freedom. You need enlightenment. See? The never-ending bowl of milk, never-ending bowl of immortality, nectar of immortality. That is freedom. You have been told this. Then you feel like, yes, I am the wise cat who's seen through all of these trivial things. And now I want this final master. He will show you the way. So you lined up in Satsang. And the master says, what do you want? And you say, I want that bowl of milk, whether you call it freedom or whether you call it enlightenment or moksha, nirvana, whatever you might call it. And the master says, who wants that? You must think that you're a cat if you want that bowl of milk. And mostly the response is, of course, I'm a cat. What do you mean? So this is where the conversation begins. Are you open to checking this in reality? Whether actually there is such a thing? Is there such a me? Is there such a cat? Is there such a person? The master says, I will show you a mirror. Are you willing to look? Many will run off here. You will say, no, 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 I didn't come here for mirror. I came for that bowl of milk. I came for enlightenment. This mirror business is too crazy for me. Those who stay then are asked to look and check. Who are you right now? What are you representing? What is real about you? If everything in this world is coming and going, and therefore they are called appearances, then are you also an appearance? Are you also something coming and going? Is there something about you which is not coming and going, which has stayed the same? What is that? So, if the definition of reality was that which does not change, is there anything real about you? And for many, this is very uncomfortable. This looking for that which is real is very uncomfortable because all that we have believed about ourselves is being shown to be changing. Nothing that we have believed about ourselves has been a constant. This body is changing, our emotions are changing, our thoughts are changing, our family is changing, our homes are changing, our satsang hall is changing. Nothing has remained constant. And because we have tried to make that which is changing into the constant, therefore we are tired now. We want something that is real. We want something that will last. How about wanting ourselves? truths. For truth's sake, are we looking for the byproducts of truths? Therefore, another way to fulfill our desire. Just yesterday or day before, I found a beautiful quote also by Saint Augustine, who was also speaking about the same thing. God for God's sake. See? Because if it is another way to fulfill our desire, the plate of desire is never full. It says, it sees there's some cannelloni that he likes, so he says, may I have that cannelloni? Okay, it's on the plate. Then it's not looking at the cannelloni and feeling happy anymore, only for maybe a second. Then he's looking at that. Then he's looking at the ravioli. Then the next minute, it sees the tiramisu and says, can I have the tiramisu? I don't know why only Italian food is coming. So, this is the plate of desire, which is never full. Something or the other or the other. So there comes a point in life where the longing for the truth becomes so strong that we are not so concerned about the byproducts. For most of you, you are not so concerned about the byproducts, but you are still using the byproduct as some sort of a benchmark for how free you are. Is it? So if some anger is coming, saying, oh, anger is coming, therefore I must not be free yet. If some lust comes, oh, lust came, I cannot be free. How can lust come? Like these kind of concepts, then we feel like, oh, I'm still bound. But this is not true. Whatever might be coming, where is it coming? Where is it coming? You feel like you're a three-dimensional object in this world. Or some silly idea like that. Is it? Well, I can show you that you're more than three dimensions right now. When you go inside, where are you going? When you say go inside, where are you going? Up, down, where are you going? Play. Where is that? Eyes. And the truth of this is so clear, so apparent. It's not that we close our eyes and we experience this same three-dimensional space. We are already space. Some object in this world. This body might be. But where is this body appearing? In that same space of your being, where the entire world is appearing. That's why the sage Ashtavakra can say that you are that shoreless ocean, the boundless ocean, in which the arcs of the universe they come and go. You feel like the sage could be lying? The sage Ashtavakra, who has been revered for thousands and thousands of years, said about you, are the shoreless ocean, in which the arcs of the universe come and go. So the ego is just nothing but a misunderstanding about who you are. That in which the arcs of the universe they come and go, that is now considering itself to be a tiny three-dimensional object. And therefore, you want other objects to feel like you're becoming bigger. But no matter how much other material, nominal possession you get, it is never enough because it can never compare with your reality. Have you wondered why this desire is always so bottomless? This continuous bottomless pit. It is because you know in your heart that you're much bigger than all of this. But in this play as an individual, you're trying to get more and more objects, more and more relationships, more and more things to fill yourself up. But does this mean that when you no longer buy into this fallacy of being a if the fallacy is dropped, does that mean that relationships have to be dropped? No. Does it mean that food has to be dropped? No. Does it mean that anything has to change about this play? No. See? It is just that your vantage point will change. It is your perspective about yourself which will change. The rest may change or may not change. It's fine. What is important is that you see yourself clearly, what you are. If you had to pick between two options, one is that one path might be a bit wobbly, might be a bit strange, but you will come to an authentic recognition of your reality. Or the other path is a life full of pleasure, full of best relationships, best enjoyment, but nothing stable. At the end, death is coming. It's all going to die. Which path would you pick? You don't have to answer. Just shine the answer in your own light. On one path, you might feel like all our belief system is being wiped clean. And for a while, it seems confusing. I don't know who I am anymore. Some fear can come. On the other path, if there was such a path where you could just have the best things in life, what is it that you would pick now? This is the Nachiketa question, isn't it? Nachiketa was asked this question in his conversation with the god of death. The god of death himself said, "You're just a kid. Why are you getting into all this stuff? Why you want to know who you are and what? I'll give you nice palaces and nice relationships and nice food, nice everything." And Nachiketa says, "Will any of this survive you?" He said, "No. All that is in time is subject to death." And then this small child said, "No, I want to go beyond death. That which will not come and go. That is what I want." You see, this is what it means when I say truth for truth's sake, irrespective of any byproduct. Because what happens also in satsang is that many times you might feel like whatever I came to satsang for stability. You might came to satsang for stability. But you might feel like even the ground which is under you right now is being shaken away. He's saying that I'm not even an object in this world. What kind of crazy talk is this? I came here to make this body mind happy. And he's saying that you're not this body mind. So ultimately, the choice is that which will die or that which is beyond death. And that which is beyond death, where must it be now? Can that which is deathless also come and go? If we have to wait for it, that means that will also be born, isn't it? If you have to wait for the self to come, that means the self is also born. And all that is born does die. There's nothing which is born and does not die. Therefore, that cannot be the eternal self. So if we're not just all fooling ourselves and kidding ourselves on some kind of spiritual fantasy, then the self must be here now. Otherwise, it is just not worth it. The self will also come one day, and there is no point to that. So that which comes goes. The self must be here. It must be unchanging. Is there anything like that here? And the sages have given us one more clue which is very helpful. That which witnesses all things that change. Many other clues, but these are enough. What witnesses everything that changes? This hand is moving. There is a perception of that, isn't it? But this perception is a constant. Huh? Even this perception comes and goes. Sight also, there is sight and then there is no sight. Sight again. See? What is aware of even this perception? What witnesses even sight? What is aware of your hearing? But first we can look at what perceives this movement of the hand itself. Another clue from the sages is rely on your own intuitive learned knowledge. Because the mind, I'm sure, will be up with steps about, oh, this is how sight is happening. So, what is it from your own experience? Who is the perceiver? What perceives all that changes? No knowledge learned, no concept that has been picked up is helpful here because even these concepts have been constantly changing. All you have to rely on is your own insight. I know this can feel a bit uncomfortable for a bit. It can feel like I can't rely on all that I've learned in the past. It can seem a bit strange, it can seem a bit wobbly. But this inquiry, this looking together, is so beautiful, it's so direct. That you can see in an instant that you are beyond death. Come to this immortal being. You don't even have to come to it actually. Drop your masks. Don't have to take a step. Let your masks fall away. You have to drop your masks. Let them fall away. What are you right now? The play of sensations goes on. Let it go on. Are you also a sensation? Are you a visual appearance? Are you a concept? Are you an emotion? What are you? Are you the soul? Are you Atma? Are you being? Are you awareness? All these words you've heard, consciousness. Now it is time to throw them out conceptually. And you might look fresh and come up with a completely new word. Don't even have to rely on any conclusion. Don't even have to rely on what the sages have called it in the past. Because that also then becomes a concept. Usually what is found is that as you're dipping into your own self, usually words become very few. Someone comes and says, who are you? Usually it takes some time before. This, what you are seeing, can be put into articulation or words or conceptual descriptions. Let's enjoy this period of rest. Because you never know when is the Sadguru's will to start using this body as an instrument of sharing. You then enjoy your ineloquence, your lack of articulation. For some of you, the butt monster must be going crazy. Saying, but, can this be it? But it can't be so simple. But something. But how can I know if this is true? But I don't find anything. Tell this butt machine to hit the road. For some of you, it might not be so much doubt, like but. For some of you, it'll be, yeah, and also, and, yeah, and. Is it trying to say that I have really understood something? But usually, this and consists of conceptual garbage, just ideas. Both the doubt and the specialness are just forms of the mind resisting your neutrality, resisting your emptiness. The doubt and the proclamation are not needed here. You don't need to proclaim this truth to anyone because I already know what you are, because I know what I am. And I'm not saying this because I want to encourage some sort of humility or something. This is not about some worldly humility. It is just that I know the nature of the mind and it can grab you either with these doubts or with these proclamations, conceptual proclamations of the truth. Then words will come from your mouth one day, which will smell of your heart. And then I'm always happy to sit at your feet. Till then, you have to do yourself this favor of not exchanging the holiness of your presence, the divinity of your being, with just a concept of yourself. It might be a very well dressed concept, but it is still not worthy of you. No concept can capture 0.0000001% of your divinity, which is already here right now. If you build a mountain of concepts, can you build one physical atom with it? Can you build 1 ounce of love with it? 1 gram of devotion? It's a huge mountain of concepts. Not possible. Their existence is so beyond any conceptual understanding. You will come to the limits of your perception, and you will come to the limits of your reasoning and intellect. And that will not be even a scratch on the surface of your consciousness. It is a big misunderstanding that if some of you feel that, oh, the master is trying to destroy my ego and make nothing out of me. When you let go of the false, you will see that you are that no thing, which is the source of all things. You are much beyond even all things. This zero is beyond infinity. The master is pointing you to the zero, which is beyond the infinite. At which point do you become the basket of the world is changing. So everything that is changing, we are going to put in the basket of appearances. See, appearance is what? That which comes and goes. The world is changing, coming and going. So goes in the basket of appearances. This body, part of the world actually should have already gone, but many of us consider the world and then this body separate. Okay, so this body changing, basket of appearances, thoughts changing, basket of appearances, emotions changing, basket of appearances. What else? Sensations, pleasure, pain changing, basket of appearances. I'm going fast, but actually when you're alone, you can sit and do this slowly. Look at this. All things going one by one. Where am I? Now in the basket. Or some concept might be there. Soul. If it's just a concept, concepts are also constantly changing. Basket of appearances. What is your insight about yourself? What wasn't thrown in the basket? Where are you? Outside? Inside? Outside and inside, it's also changing. Throw them in the basket of appearances. What is left? It is not fathomable by the mind. It is your truth. That's why my favorite question these days has become, what is real about you? What is not an appearance? The you that you represent, is that real? Or is it just an appearance? Try this. Whenever you have a minute, say I, and then check with yourself, who am I representing? Who is this I? I. I. Who is this one? Am I just representing this body? It would be so much simpler if you were just representing this body. We feel like body identification is the biggest problem. But this body right now, not concerned about money in the bank account, not concerned about manager or employees at work, not concerned with relationship. It is not even concerned by the health of the body. You see? It is that which claims to be the owner of all these things. The owner of the body, the owner of relationship, the owner of the money, the one that has the name. That seems to be the problem. Now that is the mythical one. Tissue box here?
Yes.
So the body has to remind me it is there. I'm talking about the body.
When we're saying what are we putting in the basket,
Yeah.
so this voice in which has represented the cat,
Yeah.
so that also is an appearance. I mean,
Yes.
there's something which can verify that. And so when we're putting those things away, we can, it doesn't feel like a thought, like in a sense, like, oh, I want this or that. Not like that, because the I that wanted that thought keeps changing, but the feeling of this I who wanted it, this mythic, the cat one, still kind of stays there, and as it feels as if it's still there. I mean, in a subtler way, till you recognize it also as a voice in the head, which when you step back and you recognize I also have another experience of deep sleep where this voice is not there. So it could also just be an appearance.
It is the lawyer of the non-existent cat. This voice in our head.
So that also has to be put in the
Yes,
basket.
thoughts. It is these thoughts are the lawyer for this cat. Who are the thoughts representing? Even when the thought is saying, I am God, it is Ravan thought. It is Ravan thought because Ravan is still feeling that he is God personally. Okay, and I'm not speaking of any historical Ravan, I'm not sure about any historical Ravan, but I'm telling you about the concept of Ravan. Is the spiritual ego, which can take on very fancy concepts. I am the self, I am Atma, I am Brahman itself, I am God. But it is just a thought. There is no true insight behind it. This is what I meant by the proclamation of the mind. I am a person as a concept is maybe simpler than I am God as a concept. So I am directing your insight towards your direct discovery of the self, independent of what this lawyer in the head might be saying. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai.
Sadhguru Shri Ananta-Ji ki Jai.
Happy birthday, you're saying? Yes, Prakash birthday we missed also. I saw some photo of him cutting a cake. Was it Friday or Saturday? Even we missed, we didn't realize. Okay, so Shivam's birthday boy, you can turn the camera.
Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shivam. Happy birthday to you. May Guruji bless you. May Guruji bless you. Happy birthday, dear Shivam. Happy birthday to you.
Everybody's outside this universe today, that's why they're singing so softly.